folks, welcome to your Panzer update. Now I know that we haven't made too many videos relating to the Panzer project recently. I have quite a bit of stuff going on in the sidelines, but we're now back on to getting ready for our planting. Right, I'm doing it again actually. Okay, so what have I been doing? Well, pretty much past couple of weeks I've been doing a lot of preparatory work. So that pretty much means that I've been going around the car, stripping out various systems, components, etc. relating to its previous benzene fuel system. So a lot of people think that, oh, you know, it's fairly straightforward. You pull out an engine and gearbox, throw in an electric motor, and you're all set. Well, that may be the case in some applications, but not in this one, because what we have here is it's a fairly complicated car for its age, and as such we've got to go in there and weed out the bits that we don't want. So for example, and I'll run through this in a few minutes, up here in the engine compartment, well, formerly the engine compartment, we had to get rid of a lot of things like fuel system components, cruise control components. We had to replumb certain parts of the power steering system, because unlike most vehicles that use vacuum to run the brake booster, over here to my left we have a hydro boost system. So what that means is that pressurized hydraulic fluid from this reservoir here not only feeds the hydraulic steering, which is to my right here, and it's also a steering box. Unlike a lot of cars that have steering racks, this baby has a steering box. There's a little hydraulic motor here that helps to turn the steering when we give it hydraulic pressure. So we got to provide pressurized fluid to this baby, and also via this valve here decides then when we need to send fluid to the brake booster to give us braking assistance. So that's taking a bit of working out for myself, getting used to it, and figuring out what components in here that I need to change around and replumb and stuff like that. So I've been working this out slowly but surely. Also got rid of a lot of ancillary bits here recently. Oh, where's the bolt? Got to put it back in actually. Got him out again. Anyway, so we got rid of the air box here, which is a big plastic filter housing assembly, which took a bit of working around to get at some of the hose clips on the air ducting and stuff like that. So once we got that out, this gives me a lovely big bay here underneath the right side headlight unit, where we can install things, maybe get an air conditioning compressor in there, that sort of thing, because we got our aircon hoses conveniently located. So maybe that. Around here we had a big fuel evaporative emissions canister nonsense thing, so got that out. Here we had loads of actuators for cruise control and that. So it's been basically just working out all the bits that we don't need. And just today now I got at the rear end of the car and got rid of the fuel filler, all of that kind of thing. So we'll have a look at that and be right back. Okay, so around the back of the car today we've been pretty much getting rid of the old fuel system and fast charging port. So we got all these old rusty fuel lines and brackets and nonsense here. We got the tank out, about a week ago, so we got to take out the filler neck, stuff like that. So there's the old, don't think that's a CHAdeMO port somehow. So we got rid of that and some emissions control nonsense there. So we got all that stuff taken out. And on this vehicle, strangely enough, it was quite easy to do that. It was all bolted in and readily accessible, unlike the E31, which really didn't want me taking out that kind of stuff. So now we got the old filler port out, I went to size up our Type 2 charging inlet here, and it's just an absolute perfect fit for the old petrol filler system here. So we'll be wiring that up and bracketing that baby in and getting her set up, but it's a really nice fit there, almost as if the Germans intended it to be that way. They didn't intend for me to be such a ham-fisted monkey, but there you have it. So there we are, that's our new AC charging port, which will be fitted to the car now that we've gotten rid of the old petrol filler. So another area that we've been working on has been down in the tunnel. Once we got in underneath the car, all that area there that you can see literally in frame now was covered in a horrible kind of a noise and heat insulation blanket that must have been eaten by rodents at some point. It was really falling apart and it was soaking up moisture and just generally horrible. So you can see some bits that are on the ground there just underneath the car. Got all that pulled out. It was a really horrible job, that getting rid of all that heat shielding and scraping away the bits of it that were stuck to the body. But we got it done and really cleaned it up nicely there in preparation for reinstalling our electric powertrain. Okay, so here we've got some of the components we've stripped out recently. Part of the replumb on the power steering system meant that we could get rid of these coolant lines and cooler. Now you might be thinking to me, well, geez, Damien, do we not need to keep our hydraulic fluid cool? The answer to that is yes, but there is a little caveat here. Generally, we now do not have a big V8 engine in here creating tons and tons of heat, and so the actual ambient temperature underneath the bonnet of the car will be significantly lower than it would have been under normal operating conditions with the V8 engine. So all this stuff is pretty much not required at the minute. Now what we've then got are these kind of actuator solenoid scenarios here. These were used for cruise control and stuff like that. We'll be using electronic cruise control. We'll be feeding signals into the motor controller, letting it do its own thing. So these big ass solenoids and motors and stuff are pretty much not required anymore. So as anyone's been watching the recent videos will be aware, our Panzer is going to be equipped with a CHAdeMO compliant DC fast charging system. It's going to be very important for long distance travel and to make the experience of driving the vehicle as close to traditional combustion powered fueling stops, etc. as we can get with current battery technology. Now, as we saw, we're going to be installing our AC charging port in place of the original petrol filler. So that leaves us a question then of where do we install the DC fast charging port. So I was kind of looking around the car and I focused in on these kidney grills on the front. Now the E31 has got quite small kidney grills here for a BMW. Generally they're a lot bigger. The E39 has got much larger kidney grills than these guys. So what I'm planning to do is to remove one of them, as in the grill part with the chrome surround, etc. And we're going to make something. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be just yet, but it's going to be something that will mimic the external appearance of this kidney grill, but will be removable. So we'll have a little ring pull or something like that on there. And then in behind that guy, we will have our CHAdeMO fast charging socket. So we can drive the car straight into a DC fast charging station, pull out our door or shield or cover or whatever you want to call it, and pretty much plug straight in to our DC fast charging, gas the car up while we get a cup of coffee, and motor on. So that's hopefully going to work out for me. This is actually something that I'm going to do pretty soon, even before I start installing the drivetrain, because it'll give me the space I need inside here to work on with it. Then that'll be it. Put your cover back in there, drive on. Okay folks, so that about wraps up our video today, taking a look at some of the components that we've taken out of the car. And we're very near now to being ready to install our Siemens motor, controller and ZF5 HP24 automatic gearbox in here. Hopefully all of this goes to plan for me. Got my new drive shaft made up there ready to go. So once we get all this stuff in, we'll be back probably over the Christmas holidays sometime, if the weather permits me. I get this car at least doing a little bit of a roll. I'd like to. We got a few issues around bodywork and that, as you've seen there. Nothing major, thankfully, so we can get that taken care of. But this is a good car. It's a good project. Really enjoying it. So stay with us, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon. Getting too old for this.